वडहंस की वार महला चौथा, लल्ला बहली माँ की तुन गावनी। एक ओंकार सतगुर प्रसाद। श्लोक महला तीजा। शब्द रत्ते वड हंस है, सच नाम और तार। सच संग रहे सद सच रहे, सच्चे नाम प्यार। सदा निर्मल मैल न लग गई, नदर कीती करतार। नानक हाँ तिनकै बलिहारणै, जो अन दिन जपै मुरार। O Nanak, I would offer myself as a sacrifice to such Guru-minded people who recite God's true name day and night and collect the wealth of true name, truth, by developing the love of Guru's word, Shabad, and by inculcating the love of God in their hearts. Such great swans, the pure saints, such are the people who are purified and who are not affected by any filth of vices. On such people, Vaheguru has bestowed His grace. Mahalla तीजा, मैं जानिया वड हंस है, तामे किया संग। जे जाना बाग पपड़ा, ता जन्म न देंदी अंग। I joined the company of these people, considering them to be the great swans, saints, but I would not have joined this company if I had known the truth about their being a crane instead, like a faithless people, and I would not have mixed with them from the very beginning or given any company to such faithless people. महला तीजा, हंसा वेख तरंदिया, बग्गा भी आया चाओ। दुब मुए बग बपड़े, सिर तल ऊपर पाओ। In fact, by seeing these holy saints, these swans, the cranes, the faithless people themselves got the urge of swimming in the ocean of life. But such faithless people, they got drowned with their feet upwards, so it is better not to join the company of such unholy people. पौड़ी तू आपे ही आप हैं, आप कारण किया। तू आपे आप निरंकार हैं, को अवर न भिया। तू करण कारण समर्थ है, तू करे सो थिया। तू अणमंग्या दान देवना, सबना जिया। सब आखो सतगुर वाह वाह, जिन दान हर नाम मुख दिया। O Vaheguru, you yourself are yourself all by yourself. You have created this universe from your own self, and you're formless without any signs or symbols, and there is no one else like you. You are God Almighty, capable of doing anything, and whatever takes place is as per your will. You are bestowing your benedictions and favors on all beings without any ask. O brother, let us praise and greet such true Guru, Satguru, who has united us with Vaheguru by bestowing on us the boon of true name and thus enabling us to sing His praises with our tongue. Slok Mahalla तीजा, पै विच सब आकार है, निरभउ हर जियो सोए। सतगुर सेवियै हर मन वसै तिथै भाव कदे ना होए। दुश्मन दुख तिसनो नेड़ नावै पोह न सकै कोए। गुरमुख मन विचारिया जो तिस पावै सो होए। नानक आपे ही पत रखसी कारज सवारे सोए। This whole world creation and drama is all based and controlled on fear complex except Vaheguru himself, who is free from all these considerations, who is above the fear. We could inculcate the love of God by serving the true Guru with devotion, and then there is no idea of the fear of death. Such people are not visited or affected by any afflictions or foes, and no one else could suppress them. Also, the Guru-minded people have, however, realized in their minds that whatever comes to pass happens in this world and is dictated by Vaheguru as per his will or as it pleases him. O Nanak, the God himself will protect our honor and arrange to complete all our functions successfully. Mahla tija ik sajjan challe ik chal gaye रहंदे भी फुन जाहे जिन्नी सतगुर ना सेवियो से आए गए पछताहे नानक सच रत्ते से ना विछड़े सतगुर सेव समाहे. Many of our friends and colleagues have already faced death, and many more are ready to face it and leave this world, and whosoever is left will have to face death one day. The faithless people who have not served the true Guru will repent on passing into oblivion due to death. O Nanak, the Guru-minded people who are imbued with the love of God are never separated from Him, and whosoever serves God enjoys the eternal bliss by merging with the God. Pauri tis miliye satgur sajjane जिस अंतर हर गुणकारी तिस मिलिए सतगुर प्रीत में जिन हो मैं विच हो मारी सो सतगुर पूरा तन तन है जिन हर उपदेश दे सब सृष्ट सवारी नित जपयो हो संत हो राम नाम पाओ जल बिखतारी गुरपुरै हर उपदेसिया गुर विटड़े हो सदवारी. Let us meet and join the company of this friendly Guru who has imbibed the virtuous God within his heart, in whose heart this God abides. Let us join the company of such a Guru who has cast away our egoism from within us by driving it away. Blessed and praiseworthy is the true Guru who has enabled the whole world to attain salvation by imparting the knowledge of God's true name. O holy saints, O friends, let us always recite the true name of the God, which would enable us cross this ocean of life successfully. I would offer myself as a sacrifice to such a Guru who has helped us to cross this ocean of life successfully by imparting us the knowledge of God's true name. Slok Mahalla Tija Satgur ki Seva Chakri Sukhi Hu Sukh Sar Ethe Milan Vadiyaiyan Dargah Mokh Dwar Sachi Kar Kamavani Sach Pennan Sach Naam Dhar सच्ची संगत सच मिलाए सच्चाई नाई प्यार सच्चे शब्द हरख सदा दर सच्चाई सचियार नानक सतगुर की सेवा सो करै, जिसनो नदर करै करतार। The service of true Guru is blissful, which brings real joy and comforts, as a result of which one gets honored in this world with prestige, and even in the next world the doors to salvation open up. Thus, by reciting the true name of the God, our functions in the world are also made truthful, wearing the robes of truth. In fact, in the company of the holy saints, we imbibe the true love of God's true name, thus getting merged with Him. We enjoy the bliss of life always by listening to Guru's word, and we are received with honor even in God's presence, being proclaimed as truthful. O Nanak, the service of the Guru could be performed only by the person who is blessed with the grace and benevolence of Vaheguru. महला तीजा होर विडाणी चौकरी, त्रिग जीवन त्रिगवास। अमृत छोड़ बिख लगे, बिख खटना बिख रास। बिख खाना बिख पहनना, बिख के मुख की रास। ऐथे दुख दुख कमावना, मुया नरक निवास। मनमुख मुँह मैले शब्द न जाननी, काम क्रोध विनाश। सतगुर का पाओ छोड़िया, मन हठ कामना आवे रास। जमपुर बदे मारिए, को ना सुने अरदास। नानक पूरब लिखिया कमावना, गुरमुख नाम निवास। Cursed is the service of the worldly falsehood Maya in the life of such people who are at total loss and worth condemnation, being a curse. Such self-willed, faithless people are engrossed in the love of the poison of Maya, having forsaken nectar of true name. They only amass the capital of poison and deal in the business of poisonous vices, venom in this world. Thus they are subjected to a lot of sufferings in this life and are thrown into hell after their death. The self-willed, faithless people are impure of heart. As such, they do not relish the nectar of true name and Guru's word, and finally they perish engrossed in vicious and sinful actions, obsessed with wanton desires and anger. They lead this life with a perturbed mind and impatience, without having any love or fear of God. Thus, being unsuccessful in all their functions, they are thrown into hell, the land of Yama. No one even cares to listen to their prayers or requests. O Nanak, we are made to follow the path and perform such actions as are ordained by Vaheguru, as per our predestined fortune and God's will. As such, the Guru-minded people are always enjoying the eternal bliss, being immersed in the love of true name of Guru's word. Pauri so Satgur Sevaho Sadhajan Jin Har Naam Diraya. So Satgur Pujo Din se raat Jin Jagannath Jagdish Japaya. सो सतगुर देखो एक निमख निमख जिन हर का हर पंथ बताया। तिस सतगुर की सब पगी पहो जिन मोह अंधेर चुकाया। सो सतगुर कहो सब तन तन जिन हर भगत भंडार लहाया। Let us serve that Satguru, true Guru, in the company of the holy saints who have inculcated the love of true name in our hearts. Let us worship that Guru day and night who has led us to recite the true name of God, who is the creator and sustainer of the whole world. let us perceive the glimpse of the vision of the Guru every moment, who has shown us the path of realization and have united us with Vaheguru. O brother, let us seek refuge at the lotus feet of the true Guru, Satguru, who has cast away the darkness of ignorance due to this Maya, worldly falsehood. Let us sing the praises of the true Guru, who has bestowed the treasure of true name on us and blessed us with recitation of true name. Slok Mahla Teja Satgur miliye ਭੁੱਖ ਗਈ ਭੇਖੀ ਭੁੱਖ ਨ ਜਾਏ ਦੁੱਖ ਲੱਗੈ ਘਰ ਘਰ ਫਿਰੈ ਅੱਗੇ ਦੂਣੀ ਮਿਲੈ ਸਜਾਏ ਅੰਦਰ ਸਹਿਜ ਨਾਇਓ ਸਹਿਜੇ ਹੀ ਲੈ ਖਾਏ ਮਨ ਹਠ ਜਿਸ ਤੇ ਮੰਗਣਾ ਲੈਣਾ ਦੁੱਖ ਮਨਾਏ ਇਸ ਭੇਖੈ ਥਾਵਹੁ ਗਿਰੋ ਭਲਾ ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਕੋ ਵਰਸਾਏ. By meeting with Satguru, the true Guru, all the hunger goes away. By wearing the robes of a beggar, hunger does not depart. Afflicted with pain, one wanders from house to house, and in the world hereafter, still one receives double punishment. Peace does not come to the heart of such a person, and he is not content to eat what comes his way. With a stubborn mind, he begs and grabs and annoys those also who give him. Instead of wearing these beggar's robes, it is better to be a householder and give to others. शब्द रत्ते तिन्ना सोची पई दूजै परम भुलाए पईए किरत कमावना कहना कछु न जाए नानक जो तिस पावै से भले जिनकी पत पावै थाए. Those who are attuned to the word of the Shabad, they acquire the knowledge. The others wander, deluded by doubt. They act according to their past actions. It is useless to talk to them. O Nanak, such beings who are pleasing unto Vaheguru, they are good. He upholds their honor. Mahla Teja सतगुर सेवियै सदा सुख जन्म मरण दुख जाए चिंता मूल न होवई अचिंत वसै मन आए अंतर तीरथ ज्ञान है सतगुर दिया बुझाए मैल गई मन निर्मल होआ अमृत सर तीरथ नाए सज्जन मिले सज्जना सच्चै शब्द सुभाए कर ही परचा पाया ज्योति जोत मिलाए पाखंड जम काल न छोड़े ले जासी पत गवाए नानक नाम रत्ते से ऊपरे सच्चे स्यों लिव लाए. By serving the true Guru, we could enjoy the bliss of life, casting away the sufferings of the cycle of births and deaths. Once the code is inculcated, once he abides within one's heart, all the worries and afflictions take to their heels. They all run away. The Guru has made us realize clearly that the tank of knowledge exists within our inner self, which helps us to purify our field, thus making the mind pure and enriched with the light of knowledge. Thus the Sikh devotee meets the Guru, immersed in the love of Guru's word, just as friends meet each other. The individual thus attains self-realization by imbibing the God's love and knowledge within one's heart, and gain the love and affection of Vaheguru by merging his soul with the Prime Soul. However, the faithless people, they are not spared by the Yama, and they are taken, thrown into hell, being disowned. मैं प्रभ सच पछाणिया होर भूली अवगणिया रे, मैं सदा रावे फिर आपना सचड़े शब्द विचारे, सच्चे शब्द विचारे रंग राती नारे, मिल सतगुरु प्रीतम पाया, अंतर रंग राती सहजे माती, गया दुश्मन दुख सबाया, अपने गुर को तन मन दीजै, ता मन पीजै, तृष्णा दुख निवारे, मैं फिर सच पछाणिया होर भूली अवगणिया रे. I've realized the true God, whereas the other unvirtuous people have forsaken the God's spouse. We could enjoy the conjugal bliss of God's spouse by meditating on the Guru's word, who is always enjoying this himself, being present within us. Such people who meditate on Guru's word with love and devotion of God, they unite with beloved God in the company of the true Guru, just as the wedded woman gains the love of her spouse. Such a Guru-minded person gets imbued with the love of God and enjoys the state of equipoise, casting away the vices of wanton desires that cause a lot of suffering to the individual. Once we surrender our body and mind to God's spouse through Guru's guidance, we get imbued with his love, thus casting away all our worldly desires. Having realized Vaheguru, I am fully immersed in God's true name, whereas the self-willed people, having forgotten him, do not inculcate any virtues, and they continue wandering in the world as virtueless people. The Guru Naal Pyar मिल प्रीतम तिनी त्याया, सच्चे प्रेम प्यार, मन ही ते मन मानिया, गुर कै शब्द अपार, एह सज्जन मिले ना विछड़े, जे आप मिले करतार, इक ना दर्शन की प्रतीत नाया, शब्द ना करें विचार, विछड़िया क्या क्या विछड़े, जिन्ना दूजै पाए प्यार, मनमुख सीती दोस्ती, थोड़िया दिन चार, इस प्रीति टुटती विलम न होवे, इत दोस्ती चलन विकार, जिन्ना अंदर सच्चे का पाओ नाही, नाम न करें प्यार, नानक तिन स्यों क्या कीजै दोस्ती, जे आप लाए करतार. O friend, such people who have inculcated the love of true God, true Guru in their hearts, they have been united with him. The Guru-minded people who are imbued with the love of God, they recite God's true name in the company of beloved Guru. Such people, they control their mind through Guru's guidance. They never again get separated from Vaheguru, once having been united with him. However, the self-willed, faithless people, even after having a glimpse of the Guru, they are not convinced and satisfied, and they do not meditate in Guru's word. There is no question of separation for the faithless people, as they have already deserted the love of God due to their dual-mindedness. Even the friendship of such faithless people is flimsy, yet short-lived, till they have some selfish motives fulfilled. It does not take long to break off as it is all based on vicious and sinful considerations. Moreover, such people do not have any regard for Vaheguru. O Nanak, the friendship of such people who have forsaken the God themselves is not worthwhile. What is the use of their friendship or company? महला तीजा एक सदा एक तय रंग रहे तिन कै हो सद भलिहारे जाओ तन मन तन अर्पी तिन को निव निव लागो पाए तिन मिलिया मन संतोखिए तृष्णा भुख सब जाए नानक नाम रते सुखिए सदा सच्चे स्यों लिव लाए. Some remain constantly imbued with Vahiguru's love. I would offer myself as a sacrifice to such people who are always immersed in the love of the God, having surrendered my body, mind, and wealth to them with self-surrender, and would fall at their lotus feet in the honor. By meeting such people, we attain the peace and tranquility of mind, getting rid of our hunger for worldly possessions. O Nanak, the people who are always imbued with the love of God's true name, they enjoy the eternal bliss. Pauri tis gur ko hum variya जिन हर की हर कथा सुनाई तिस गुर को सद बलिहारणे जिन हर सेवा बनत बनाई सो सतगुर प्यारा मेरे नाल है जिथे किथे मैनू लए छड़ाए तिस गुर को शाबाश है जिन हर सो जी पाए नानक गुर विठों वारिया जिन हर नाम दिया मेरे मन की आस पुराई. I would offer myself as a sacrifice to the Guru who has given me discourses on God's true name through the Guru's word, and I have surrendered myself completely to the Guru who has initiated and engaged us in the service of the true God. The true Guru is always beside me, by my side, and protects my honor and prestige everywhere, wherever there are any obstacles. Blessed and praiseworthy is that Guru who has made us realize the value of true name of Vaheguru. O Nanak, I am sacrificed to the Guru who has fulfilled all my desires by imparting the knowledge about God's true name. श्लोक महला तीजा तृष्णा दाधी जल मुई जल जल करे पुकार सतगुर शीतल जे मिले फिर जले न दूजी वार नानक विन नावे निरपाव को नहीं जिचर शब्द न करे विचार. Consumed by desire, this world is burning and dying. It cries out, but if one meets with the cooling and soothing true Guru, then one does not burn any longer. O Nanak, without the name and without contemplating the word of the Shabad, no one becomes fearless. महला तीजा पेखी अगन न बुझई चिंता है मन माहे वर्मी मारे साप नाम रै त्यों निगुरै कर्म कमाहे सतगुरु दाता सेवियै शब्द वसै मन आए। मन तन शीतल शांत होए, तृष्णा अग्नि बुझाए। सुखा सिर सदा सुख होए, जाओ विचों आप गवाए। गुरमुख उदासी सो करे, जे सच रहै लिव लाए। चिंता मूल न होवई, हर नाम रचा घाए। नानक नाम बिना ने छूटिए, हो मैं पचह पचाए। Wearing ceremonial robes, the fire is not quenched. Mind is filled with anxiety still. Destroying the snake's souls, the snake is not killed. It is just like doing deeds without a guru, serving the giver, the true guru. The Shabad comes to abide in the mind. The mind and body are cooled and soothed. Peace ensues, and the fire of desire is quenched. The supreme comforts and lasting peace is obtained when one eradicates ego from within. He alone becomes detached Gurmukh who focuses one's consciousness on Vaheguru. Anxiety cannot affect that person, and that person remains satisfied with the name of God. O Nanak, without the Naam, no one is saved. They are utterly ruined by egoism. पौड़ी जिन्नी हर हर नाम ध्याया, तिन्नी पायड़े सर्ब सुखा। सब जन्म तिना का सफल है, जिन हर के नाम की मन लागी भुखा। जिन्नी गुर के बचन राधया, तिन विसर गए सब दुखा। ते संत भले गुर सिख हैं, जिन नाहि चिंत पराई चुखा। तन तन तिना का गुरु है, जिस अमृत फल हर लागे मुखा। Those who meditate on God, her obtain all peace and comforts. Fruitful is the entire life of those who hunger for name of God in their minds. Those who worship the God in adoration through the word of Guru Shabad, they forget all their pains and suffering. Those Gursikhs are good saints who care for nothing other than Vaheguru. Blessed is their Guru whose mouth tastes the ambrosial fruit of God's name. श्लोक महिला तीजा। कल में जम जंदार है, हुक्मे कार कमाए। गुर राखे से ऊपरे, मन मुखा दे सजाए। जम कालय वस जग बांधिया, तिस का फरु न कोय। जिन जम कीता सो सेवियै, गुरमुख दुख न होए। नानक गुरमुख जम सेवा करे, जिन मन सच्चा होए। This world is under the control of the Yama, god of death, though it is functioning under the dictates of Vaheguru as per his will. The self-will people are punished by the Yama, whereas the Guru-minded people have been protected by Guru's support. The God has arranged the whole world under the control of the Yama, and no one could help us against the punishment control of the Yama. However, we should serve the true God alone, who has created even the Yama, so that the Guru-minded people do not have to undergo sufferings at his hands. O Nanak, even the Yama, the god of death, is at service of the Guru-minded people who recite the true name by imbibing the love of God. So how could the Yama trouble them? महला तीजा। एहा काया रोग परी, बिन शब्दै दुख हो मैं रोग न जाए। सतगुरु मिलै ता निर्मल होवै, हर नामो मन वसाए। नानक नाम ध्याया सुख दाता, दुख विसरिया सहज सुभाए। This human body is replete with many ills and maladies, and the malady of egoism does not get cured without the support of Guru's word. The mind could be purified by inculcating God's true name in the heart to the help of Guru's guidance. O Nanak, the people who have recited God's true name, which is the harbinger and benefactor of all the bliss and worldly comforts, could cast away all their ills and afflictions. पौड़े जिन जग जीवन उपदेसिया तिस गुर को हूँ सदा कुमाया तिस गुर को हूँ खन्य जिन मधुसूदन हर नाम सुनाया तिस गुर को हूँ वारण जिन्हों में बिक सब रोग गवाया तिस सतगुरु को वड पुण्य है जिन अवगण खट गुणी समझाया सो सतगुर तिनको पेटिया जिनके मुख मस्तक पाग लिख पाया. I would always offer myself as a sacrifice to the Guru who has given us the right guidance of God's worship, who is the God benefactor of the whole world and also has bestowed on us the true name of the God, destroyer of the demon of egoism. I would in fact surrender myself completely to such Guru and sacrifice myself in bits and pieces at his service. I would offer myself in self-surrender to the Guru who has rid me of the poison of egoism from within. I am totally cured of the fatal disease of egoism now. Glorious and great are the virtues of such Guru who has eradicated evil and instructed me in virtue. The true Guru meets with those upon whose foreheads such blessed destiny is recorded. श्लोक महला तीजा भगत करहे मर जीवड़े गुरमुख भगत सदा होए ओना को तुर भगत खजाना बख्शिया मेट न सकै कोई गुण निधान मन पाया एको सच्चा सोए नानक गुरमुख मिल रहे फिर विछोड़ा कदे न होए. The Guru-minded people who realize the true meaning of life by following the path of God, true name, and leading a life of humility like a dead person, they engage themselves in the true worship of God and their prayers are accepted by Vaheguru. Such Guru-minded people are blessed with the wealth of true name from God's court itself, which cannot be altered or destroyed by anyone. O Nanak, the Guru-minded people are imbued with the love of true God, who is the fountainhead of all virtues, and they get merged with God in such a manner that they never get separated again. महला तीजा सतगुर की सेवन कीनिया क्या हो करे विचार शब्द सार न जाने बिख पूला गावार अज्ञानी अंध बहु कर्म कमावे दूजे पाए प्यार अणहोंदा आप गणाई दे जम मार करे तिन ख्वार नानक किसनो आखिए जा आपे बख्शण हार. How could the person who has never served the Guru meditate or deliberate about Vaheguru? Such a foolish person is engrossed and lost in the love of vicious and sinful actions. He is unaware of the value of Guru's word. In fact, he is blind with ignorance and engrossed in the love of dual-mindedness. Thus all the actions are based on dual-mindedness. Such self-willed people who are full of vices but always praise themselves, they are punished and dishonored by the Yama, the god of death. O Nanak, whom else could we approach except beseeching Vaheguru with our prayers, who is our benefactor, so we could solicit the God for his grace. Pauri, तू करता सब किछ जानता, सब जी तुम्हारे, जिस तू पावे तिस तू मेल लए, क्या जंत विचारे। तू करण कारण समर्थ है, सच सिरजनहारे, जिस तू मेल है प्यारे हार, सो तुद मिलै गुरमुख विचारे। हूँ बलिहारी सतगुर आपने, जिन मेरा हर अलख लखारे। You, O Creator, know all things, all beings belong to you, those who are pleasing to you, you unite with yourself. What can the poor creatures do? You are all powerful, you are the cause of causes, the true Creator God. Only those unite with you, beloved God, upon whom you have the approval and who meditate on Guru's word. I am a sacrifice to my true Guru, who has allowed me to see my unseen God. Slok Mahalla Tija, Ratna Parakh jo hove, so Ratna kare vichar, Ratna sar na jane, agyani and andhar, रत्न गुर का शब्द है, बूझे बूझनहार, मूर्ख आप गणाएंदे, मर जम्मे हुए ख्वार। नानक रत्ना सोल है, जिस गुरमुख लगे प्यार, सदा सदा नाम उच्चरै, हर नामो नित ब्योहार। कृपा करे जे आपने, ता हर रखा उरतार। Such people who are the real evaluators of the jewels, like true name, they are dealing in the business of such jewels. However, the ignorant people, they keep wandering in darkness of ignorance and lack of knowledge about Vaheguru, being engrossed in Maya, worldly falsehood. How could such people deal in the merchandise of diamonds when they do not realize their value? The real jewel is Guru's word, but this is realized by few wise people, whereas the foolish people are always engaged in self-praise and self-pride, and they thus suffer the torture of cycle of births and deaths and get dishonored. O Nanak, the people who develop love and friendship with Guru-minded people, they manage to deal in business of jewels, diamonds, amassing various jewels. Only the Guru-minded people can deal in this business of jewels of true name. Such Guru-minded people, they are always engaged in reciting true name as they deal in the business of true name alone. If the God would bless me with His grace, then I would also recite God's true name by inculcating the love for Him in my heart. Mahalla Tija, Sat Gur ki सेवना कीनिया, हर नाम ना लगो प्यार। मत तुम जानो ओए जीव दे, ओए आप मारे करतार। हो में वड्डा रोग है, पाए दूजे कर्म कमाए। नानक मनमुख जीव दियाम वे, हर विसरिया दुख पाए। We cannot consider such people as spiritually alive who have not served the true Guru and who have not enjoyed the bliss of Vahiguru's love, as God Himself has declared them as dead spiritually. The disease of one's egoism is the greatest illness, and self-will persons are always functioning engrossed in dual-mindedness. O Nanak, such faithless people, though physically alive, are considered dead, having died a spiritual death, as they have forsaken the God and they undergo sufferings. पौड़ी जिस अंतर हृदय शुद्ध है तिस जन को सब नमस्कारी जिस अंदर नाम निधान है तिस जन को हूँ बलिहारी जिस अंदर बुद्ध विवेक है हर नाम मुरारी सो सतगुर सबना का मित है सब तिसे प्यारी सब आत्म राम पसारिया गुर बुद्ध बिचारी. The whole world salutes such people who are pure of heart, and they are honored everywhere. I would offer myself as a sacrifice to such people who are imbued with the love of treasure of true name and who meditate on true name of Vaheguru, who could destroy the egoistic tendencies. The God loves the whole world. In fact, He Himself is pervading in all the beings, which has been explained to us by the Guru after great thought and meditation. Let us therefore think over this fact carefully with wisdom and recite true name, perceiving the God everywhere. Slok Mahalla Tija बिन सतगुर सेवे जी के बंधना विच होमे करम कमाहे बिन सतगुर सेवे ठौर न पावई मर जम्मे आवे जाहे बिन सतगुर सेवे फिक्का बोलना नाम न वसै मन माहे नानक बिन सतगुर सेवे जमपुर बद्धे मारियन मुकाले उठ जाहे. Without serving the true Guru, the soul is in the bondage of deeds done in ego. Without serving the true Guru, one finds no place of rest. One dies and is reincarnated and continually remains in cycle of coming and going. Without serving the true Guru, one's speech is bad and insipid. The name of God does not abide in one's mind. O Nanak, without serving the true Guru, Satguru, one is bound and beaten in the city of death. One arise and depart with blackened face. Mahalla pehla जालो ऐसी रीत जित में प्यारा विसरै नानक साई पली परीत जित साहिब सेती पत्र है. Burn away such rituals which lead you to forget the beloved God. O Nanak, sublime is that love that preserves my honor with my true master. Pauri Hari ko data seviye Hari ko dhyaye Hari ko data mangiye Man chindya paiye जे दूजे पासों मंगिए तां लाज मराइए जिन सेविया तिन फल पाया तिस जन की सब भुख गवाइए नानक तिन विठों वारिया जिन अंदिन हृदय हर नाम ध्याइए. Let us serve that one God, the great giver. Let us meditate on that one God. Beg from that one God, the great giver, and you shall obtain your heart's desires. But if you beg from someone else, then you shall be shamed and destroyed. One who serves the God obtains the fruits of his rewards. All of his hunger is satisfied. O Nanak, I am sacrificed to those who day and night meditate within their hearts on the name of Vaheguru. श्लोक महला तीजा भगत जना कहूँ आप तुठा मेरा प्यारा आपे लयन जन लाए पातशाही भगत जना को दितियन सिर छत सच्चा हर बनाए सदा सुखिए निर्मले सतगुर की कार कमाए राजे होए नाखिए पीड़ मरे फिर जूनी पाहे नानक विण नावे नक्की वड्डी फिरे शोभा मूल न पाहे. My beloved Vaheguru is pleased with his saints and he immerses them in his worship and true name. In fact, God has bestowed the kingdom of heaven like a canopy over the heads of his saints, his disciples. Such people who are engaged in the service of the Guru always enjoy the bliss of life, having purified themselves, whereas such people who are engrossed in wrangles or wars, they are not worthy of being called kings. They are rather taken through the cycle of births and deaths. O Nanak, such people who are dishonored without the recitation of true name, they never get acclaimed either here or hereafter. They wander around with their noses cut off in disgrace. They get no respect at all. महला तीजा सुने सिखिए साथ न आयो जिचर गुरमुख शब्द न लागे सतगुर सेविए नाम मन वसै विचों भ्रम पाओ पागे जेहा सतगुर नो जाने ते हो होवै तां सच नाम लिव लागे नानक नाम मिलै वड्याई हर दर सोहन आगे. So long as one is not able to inculcate the love of Guru's word in one's heart, it is no use getting involved in talks and listening to teachings only. It is only through the service of Guru that we could inculcate the love of true name in our hearts and cast away our doubts, fear or dual-mindedness. The best path is to get imbued with the love of true name of God and then get immersed in meditation of true name, depending on the way one perceives the Guru outwardly. O Nanak, one gets honored and acclaimed in the world by reciting true name and in God's presence as well. Pauri गुर सिखा मन हर प्रीत है गुर पूजन आवहे हर नाम वणंजहे रंग स्यों लाहा हर नाम ले जावहे गुर सिखा के मुख उजले हर दरगह पावहे गुर सतगुर बोहल हर नाम का वड पागी सिख गुण सांझ करावे तिन्ना गुर सिखा को हो वारिया जो बहंदियां उठदियां हर नाम त्यावहे. The Guru Sikhs always worship the Guru as they have developed love for Vaheguru in their hearts. Thus they gain the profit of God's true name by dealing in the trade of His name with love and devotion. Such Guru-minded people, they proceed with flying colors to God's court with pure hearts, and they find an honorable place in God's presence as they have won the pleasure of God. The Guru is the fountainhead of the wealth of God's true name, and the fortunate Sikhs predestined by God's will share their virtues with others as well. I would offer myself as a sacrifice to such Guru Sikhs who recite God's true name all the time, whether in sitting or standing postures. Slok Mahalla Tija Nanak Naam Nidhan hai Gurmukh paya jaye Manmukh kar hondi vat na janani Ande paunk mue bil laye. O Nanak, the treasure of God's name is such which could be attained only by being Guru-minded, whereas the self-full, faithless people, they never realize the valuable thoughts and precious things lying within their inner selves, and they wail or bark like blind dogs, thus facing death in the end. Mahalla Tija Kanchan Kaya Nirmali Jo Sach Naam Sach Lagi Nirmal Jyot Niranjan Paya Gurmukh Pram Pao Pagi Nanak Gurmukh Sada Sukh Pavahe Andin Har Bairagi. This body comprises the pure wisdom, intelligence, like gold, which could be used for reciting true name. This pure wisdom has gained the true God, free from the effects of worldly falsehood. Maya, the mind of such Guru-minded people, runs away from any concentrations of whims and fancies or dual-mindedness. O Nanak, the wise Guru-minded people, they always enjoy the comforts and bliss of life, and they remain immersed in meditation of God's true name day and night. Pauri Se Gur Sikh Tan Tan Hai Jinni Guru Upadesh Sunya Har Kanni Gur Satgur Naam Diraya Tinho mein dubidha panni Bin har nave ko mitra nahi Vichar dittha har janni Jinna gur sikha ko har santusht hai Tinni satgur ki gal manni Jo gurmukh naam ਧਿਆਇਂਦੇ ਤਿੰਨੀ ਚੜੀ ਚਵਗਣ ਵੰਨੀ. Blessed, blessed are those Gursikhs who with their ears listen to Guru's teachings about Vaheguru, who listen to the message of Guru and who inculcate in their heart the love of true name, which has destroyed their egoism and dual-mindedness. However, the Guru-minded people, they convince themselves and realize through deliberations that there is no real true friend or companion in this world except God's true name. The Guru-minded people who have won the confidence and pleasure of God, they develop the love of Guru's message and they follow it sincerely by realizing its efficacy and truth, and they accept Guru's teachings. The Guru-minded people who recite Guru's true name all the time are imbued with the love of God, which goes on increasing with leaps and bounds. Slok Mahalla Tija Manmukh Kayar Karup hai Bin Nave Nakh Nahe Andin Tande Vyapya Supne Bhi Sukh Nahe Nanak Gurmukh Hove Ta Upare Nahi Ta Badhe Dukh Sahahe. O Nanak, the self-will, faithless people are coward and ugly, having no prestige or honor without the support of true name. They are always engrossed in worldly falsehood, and they do not enjoy any bliss or joy even in their dreams, thus undergoing sufferings, being caught in bondage of Yama. However, Guru-minded people, they escape from bondage of worldly falsehood. महला तीजा गुरमुख सदा दर सोहणे गुर का शब्द कमाहे अंतर शांत सदा सुख दर सच्चे शोभा पाए नानक गुरमुख हर नाम पाया सहजे सच समाहे. The Guru-minded people, they follow Guru's message and they act accordingly, obeying Guru's word. As such, they are received with honor in God's presence and they appear beautiful. They have attained peace of mind and they enjoy the bliss of life. They find favor in God's court. O Nanak, the Guru-minded people have attained God's true name. They enjoy the eternal bliss in the state of equipoise by immersing in truth. Pauri Gurmukh Prahlad Jap Har Gat Pai Gurmukh Janak Har Naam Liv Lai Gurmukh Bashisht Har Upadesh Sunai बिन गुर हर नाम ना किनै पाया मेरे पाई गुरमुख हर भगत हर आप लहाई. Prahlad, the saint, attained salvation by reciting true name in company of Guru-minded people, while Raja Janak had also been imbued with the love of God's true name, being Guru-minded. Even Vashisht had given a discourse on God's message, true name, through Guru's guidance. O brother, no one has ever attained Vaheguru, his true name, without the support of Guru's message or guidance. Even Vaheguru enabled some Guru-minded people to be immersed in God's worship, his devotion, through his own will and pleasure. श्लोक महला तीजा सतगुर की प्रतीत न आया शब्द न लागो पाओ उसनु सुख न उपजै पावे सो गेड़ाओ जाओ नानक गुरमुख सहज मिलै सच्चे स्यों लिव लाओ. No one has ever been satisfied or convinced without Guru's guidance, and no one has developed the love of Guru's word. Even if someone were born in this world 100 times, one cannot enjoy real bliss without Guru's support. O Nanak, let us also inculcate the love of true Master in our hearts, as it is only the Guru-minded people who attain Vaheguru in the state of equipoise. Mahla tija e man aisa satgur khoj laho jit seviye janm maran dukh jaye sahsa mool na hovai home shabad jalaye कूड़े की पाल विचों निकले सच वसै मन आए अंतर शांत मन सुख होए सच संजम कार कमाए नानक पूरे कर्म सतगुर मिले हर जियो कृपा करे रजाए. O my mind, let us seek and meet such a Guru through whose service we could escape the torture of the cycle of births and deaths. By burning, casting away our egoistic tendencies through Guru's word, we could get rid of all our doubts and misgivings, as the partition wall of falsehood between us and God is removed in the heart automatically. Thus, an individual engages oneself with daily chores with truthfulness and disciplined mind, and enjoys the peace and tranquility of mind along with a blissful life. O Nanak, it is through the grace of God that we get united with true Guru through God's will, and we could attain truth only when we are fortunate enough, being predestined by God's will due to our good and perfect actions. पौड़ी जिसके कर दीवान हर होवे, तिसकी मुट्ठी विच जगत सब आया। तिसको तलकी किसै दी नाही, हर दीवान सब आण पैरी पाया। मानसा क्यों दीवानो कोई, नस भज निकले हर दीवानो कोई किथे जाया। सो ऐसा हर दीवान वसया, भगतां के हिरदय तिन रहंदे खुंदे आण सब भगतां अगे खलवाया। हर नावे की वडियाई करम प्राप्त होवे, गुरमुख विरले किने ध्याया। Such people who have support of Vaheguru in their heart, they control the whole world. The whole world comes under their control. They are not subject to anyone's rule, and the God, the King, causes everyone to fall at their feet. One may run away from the courts of other men, but where can one go to escape the God's kingdom? Vaheguru is such a king who abides in the hearts of his devotees. He brings the others and makes them stand before his devotees. The glorious greatness of God's name is obtained only by his grace. How few are such gurmukhs who meditate on him. श्लोक महला तीजा। बिन सतगुर सेवे जगत मुआ, बिरथा जन्म गवाए। दूजे पाए अत दुख लगा, मर जम्मे आवे जाए। विष्टा अंदर वास है, फिर जूनी पाए। नानक बिन नावे जम मारसी, अंत गया पछताए। This whole world is engrossed in odd activities without serving the true Guru. All people, they face death having led a fruitless and purposeless life, doing wasteful tasks. Such people engrossed in dual-mindedness, they have to suffer terrible pain, and they are passed through the cycle of births and deaths. Such people, they are passed through the filth of hell, and they continue to be taken through cycle of rebirths time and again. O Nanak, the human being has to face the onslaughts of Yama, god of death, without the support of true name, and such a person repents at the time of death, but to no useful purpose at that time. महला तीजा। इस जग में पुरख एक है, होर सगली नार सबाई। सब घट भोगवै अलिपत रहे, अलख न लखना जाई। पूरे गुर विखालिया, शब्दे सोझी पाई। पुरखै से वह से पुरख हो वह, जिन्नी हूँ मैं शब्द जलाई। तिसका शरीक को नहीं, नाको कंटक वैराई। निश्चल राज है सदा तिसकेरा, ना आवे ना जाई। अनदिग्न सेवक सेवा करे, हर सच्चे के गुण गाए। नानक वेख विगसिया, हर सच्चे की वढियाई। In this world, there is only one God's spouse, whereas the rest of human beings constitute his spouses. They are that God's spouse wives only. By being present within each individual, Vaheguru himself has to undergo all sufferings or enjoy the pleasures through the God, and remains aloof and distinct from the whole world at the same time. Vaheguru is, however, beyond our comprehension and is indescribable. The perfect Guru alone could help us to perceive a glimpse of such a God, and it is through Guru's word that we could realize the greatness of Vaheguru. Such people who serve God, they become an embodiment of Him as they get rid of their egoism through Guru's word. There is no one else on par with them, and nobody could cause any harm to such people. Such a person enjoys an ever-existent kingdom and becomes immortal, does not pass through cycle of births and deaths. Such a devotee of the Guru sings the praises of Vaheguru and engages oneself in the service of God day and night. O Nanak, the Guru-minded people, they remain thrilled, enjoying the bliss of glimpse of God's greatness and His indescribable form. Pauri जिनके हर नाम वस्या सद हृदय, हर नामो तिनको रखण हारा। हर नाम पिता हर नामो माता, हर नाम सखाई मित्र हमारा। हर नावे नाल गल्ला, हर नावे नाल मसलत, हर नाम हमारी करदा नित सारा। हर नाम हमारी संगत प्यारी, हर नाम कुल हर नाम परवारा। जन नानक कहूँ हर नाम हर गुर दिया, हर हलत पलत सदा करे निस्तारा। The Guru-minded people who are imbued with the love of God's true name, they are always under the protective care of the true name of Vaheguru. The true name is like our mother and father, including the true friend, as we should always seek the advice of true name, as true name keeps track of activities. O Nanak, the God's true name is our best company, including our family. The Guru has bestowed the God's true name alone to this devotee of Vaheguru, which could support us in this world or the next and would enable us in crossing this ocean of life successfully and attaining salvation. Slok Mahalla Tija, जिनको सतगुर भेटिया, से हर कीरत सदा कमाहे। अचिंत हर नाम तिनकै मन वसिया, सच्चे शब्द समाहे। कुल उधारे अपना, मोख पदवी आपे पाहे। पार ब्रह्म तिनको संतुष्ट बयाल, जो गुर चरनी जन पाहे। जन नानक हर का दास है, कर कृपा हर लाज रखाहे। Such people who have been united with true Guru, they are always engaged in singing the praises of God, including Guru's word. They are always immersed in Guru's word, and God's love is inculcated in their hearts without any fear. Such Guru-minded people, they attain salvation themselves and help others as well towards salvation. The God is pleased with such people who have sought refuge at the lotus feet of the Guru. O Nanak, I am the slave and devotee of God who has protected my honor through His grace. महला तीजा हूँ मैं अंदर खड़क है, खड़के खड़क विहाय हूँ मैं वड्डा रोग है, मर जम्मै आवे जाए। जिनको पूरब लिखिया तिना सतगुर मिलिया प्रभु आए। नानक गुर प्रसादी उबरे हों मैं शब्द जलाए। Egoism is like a noise within, and the self-willed people, they are full of this noise within their heart. Their whole life is spent in this noise, but there is no end to this egoism. This egoism is such a great malady which causes this person to pass through the cycle of births and deaths. However, the fortunate Guru-minded people who are predestined by God's will are enabled to unite with the true Guru to join the company. O Nanak, we could cross this ocean of life successfully through Guru's word when we are blessed with Guru's grace, which burns, casts away this egoism, thus merging, uniting us with God, giving us peace of mind. Pauri Har Naam Hamara Prabh Abhigat Agochar Abhinasi Purakh Vidhata Har Naam Ham Srivahe Har Naam Ham Pooje Har Naame Hi Manrata Har Naame Jeevad Koi Avar Na Sujhe Har Naamo Ant Chadata Har Naam Diya Guru Parupakari Tan Tan Guru Ka Pita Mata How Satguru Apne Ko Sada Namaskari Jit Miliye Har Naam Mein Jata. God's true name is our protector, being everything in life which no man has been able to gain, as it cannot be seen or felt with all the senses. It is not perishable, and it is true name alone which bestows all the benedictions on us. We always serve the true name of God and worship true name only, and the true name is inculcated in the heart too, so that we are always immersed in it. We do not find anything else as great as true name, as this true name only saves us from the noose of Vyama in the end. The Guru is our greatest benefactor. He blesses us with true name. Guru always bestows his favors on us. The mother and father of the Guru are really praiseworthy. I always salute the true Guru, whose company has enabled me to recite the true name. Shlok Mahalla Tija Gurmukh Sevna Kiniya Har Naam Na Lago Pyar Shabd Aisa Nayo Mar Janme Varo Var Manmukh And Na Chete Kit Aya Sansar Nanak Jinko Nadar Kare Se Gurmukh Lange Par. Such people who have not served the Guru by following Guru's guidance and have not developed the love of the true name, or such self-willed people who have not partaken the nectar of true name, they are always passed through the cycle of births and deaths. Why has this blind, faithless, self-willed person been born in this world, since such a person never recited God's true name? O Nanak, the Guru-minded people, blessed with God's grace, have been able to cross this ocean of life successfully. Mahalla Tija Ikko Satgur Jagta Hor Jag Suta Moh Pyas सतगुर सेवन जागन से, जो रते सच नाम गुणतास। मनमुख अंधना चेतनी, जन्म मर होए विनाश। नानक गुरमुख तिन्ने नाम, त्याया जिनको तुर पूरब लिखियास। The whole world is lying in the slumber of worldly desires and attachments, except the true Guru, who is fully awake, whereas all others are engrossed in the worldly falsehood and they are sleeping in ignorance. However, the Guru-minded people who have served the true Guru, they are fully awake, being imbued with the love of the treasure of true name. But the blind, ignorant, self-willed people who never remember Vaheguru, they always perish, going through cycle of births and deaths. O Nanak, in fact only the fortunate Guru-minded people who are predestined by God's will recite the true name of God. Pauri हर नाम हमारा भोजन, छत्ती प्रकार जित खाइए, हमको त्रिपत भई। हर नाम हमारा पहनन, जित फिर नंगे ना होवै, होर पहनन की हमारी शरद गई। हर नाम हमारा वणज, हर नाम व्यापार, हर नाम की हमको सतगुर कारखनी दी। हर नाम का हम लेखा लिखिया, सब जम की अगली कान गई। हर का नाम गुरमुख किन्नै विरलै ध्याया, जिनको तुर कर्म प्राप्त लिखत पई। God's true name is like the most delicious food of all the 36 types, the varieties. By partaking this food, we get fully satisfied. God's true name alone is like our dress. By wearing such a dress, we do not feel naked, and we have lost all charm of wearing rich clothes. Being immersed in true name, we have no desire of rich clothes, as this is the most beautiful cover for the mind. We deal only in merchandise of true name of God in our business of life, and Vaheguru has bestowed us with this knowledge so that we can only deal in this business of reciting true name. We have amassed the wealth of true name, and there's nothing else in our account. There's no need to besiege the Yama now, but there are only few Guru-minded people who have recited the true name, who are predestined by God's will due to their good actions, and who have enjoyed the bliss of life by attaining the true name due to their good fortune.